Hey members, hope you're all doing well. Today is Wednesday, July 1st. Happy 1st of the month. So for Weighted Wednesday today, we will be covering the upper body circuit that is being offered by reservation at the Philadelphia Country Club's Fitness Center. Today we're going to be going over my personal recommendation for what you should be doing if you reserve this series of equipment. So we're going to start off on the chest press here. When you get set up on the chest press, you want to make sure the handles are in line with your chest, okay? So this is good for me. If this is a little bit too far for you to get back comfortably, I can put my hands here, but for some people that's too deep of a range of motion, right? They don't have that range of motion. So if that's the case, you can change the weight here to accommodate your needs. You're gonna start here and you're going to go, keep your shoulders back. You're gonna do 8 to 12 reps in a rep range where you're failing on the 8th to 12th rep. If you want more of a strength component, I would say focus on your lower reps. If you want more of a hypertrophy component, you can focus on your higher reps, 12 to 15 reps, okay? So you're gonna do all of these exercises for 3 rounds in the order, and then I will have them written below in the order that, again, I would do them. So we're gonna, from here, head over to the pull down machine, okay? You'll see over there. Okay, members, so next what we're gonna do, we're gonna be doing the pull down. So we wanna make sure our spine is nice and tall, keeping our spine in alignment. We're gonna prevent rounding of the shoulders, cupping of the shoulders up to the ears. So you're gonna start the movement by actually retracting the scapula, so pulling your shoulders away from your ears, and then pushing your elbows out to the side, staying nice and upright. Now I feel this under my arms, right where my lats are, those back muscles. And you may even feel this in your chest if you've been particularly hunched over a lot, or if you just have naturally tight pecs. You may feel a stretching sensation in the bottom of that range of movement as your lats fully contract. Okay, so from here we're gonna head over to the shoulder press and we'll see you over there. Hey members, so here's the shoulder press. When you start with the shoulder press, you wanna be careful of where it is in relation to your body. So for example, this is set actually pretty low for me. As you can see, I may be able to get my hands on here, but I'm started in a really internally rotated position, which is less than ideal for this exercise. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna drop the seat down about 2 positions, maybe a 3rd position just for good measure. And then from here, I'm gonna stabilize my head, engage my abs, push my feet into the floor, and press up overhead, okay? Again, you wanna go to the end of the range of motion of your arms. You don't necessarily wanna go all the way up and do like a crunch or lift your head or shoulder blades off of the back of the chair. Also, if you have good wrist mobility and good shoulder mobility, I would say you can use the handles closest to you as they spin when you press up overhead. So it's a pretty straight line, whereas these kind of arch back as you go up. Okay, so after your 3 main large muscle lifts, we're gonna go ahead and look at the accessories, okay? So you're gonna do chest press, pull down, overhead press, chest press, pull down, overhead press, chest press, pull down, overhead press, and then we're gonna do the accessories, okay? So let's get started. All right, members, so we've done our compound movements, our pressing, our pulling, our overhead presses. We're gonna go ahead and do another pulling movement, but this is an isolation exercise because technically speaking, you're only moving the shoulder joint. The elbow and wrist are staying relatively locked in place, and we are focusing on the trapezius, the rhomboids, our back muscles, our real deltoids. Really, the machines say it all. If you ever want to know what the machines work here, they're listed directly. The muscles are listed directly on the machines. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to make sure my arms are nice and straight. I have the proper seat positioning. I'm keeping my head and spine elevated, not rounding over, resting my chin, resting my head, right, nice and tall. And I'm going to move through the full range of motion, right, all the way down. Exhaling as you exert the energy. Okay. okay? Sometimes this handle can prove difficult to use for some people, in which case I would encourage you to just keep a neutral grip. And remember, if you're ever rushing through the reps and you can't seem to control the speed of the weight's probably too heavy and you should try reducing it by about 5 to 10 pounds. Okay? So let's move over to our arm exercises and get you out of here. So we're on our last two machines. We've started our accessory lift, so we started over at the rear delt fly. We're gonna come over here and work on our triceps. For the tricep machine, I really like to use this foot lever here, right? Because you can reach back there and get it started, but immediately I'm hyperextending through my lower back, and that's just setting my body up for less than ideal muscle contraction. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna stomp on this handy foot pedal right here. I'm gonna reach back and grab the bar. Okay, I'm gonna slowly take my foot off of the release bar, and I'm going to press my hands all the way up through, squeezing at the top just below lockout, okay? So when I say lockout, I'm not going into full extension at the elbows. I'm going just shy of that to keep the tension on the muscle, okay? Again, you want to keep your head up nice and tall. You want to keep your spine nice and erect. And another thing is you want to keep your elbows really pointing forward, right? You want to try and avoid this, right, which can create a lot of shearing force on the elbow joint. Keep your hands nice and tight, keep your elbows nice and tight, and just really take your time going down, feel the good stretch in the muscle, and then drive through the palm, squeezing at the top, okay? If you have good shoulder range of motion, again, you may not need that foot release pedal, but if you're not sure, feel free to use it, find which is most comfortable for you, and yeah, have a good workout. The last one we're going to use is a bicep curl. So this is the last piece of equipment we're going to use on this wonderful upper body focused muscle strengthening workout. We're going to go ahead and use a reasonable weight for the bicep curl, something that will challenge us into the 8 to 12 rep range while maintaining good form. While I personally prefer free weights, due to the coronavirus, we're all having to adapt our personal gym habits, amongst other things. So I'm going to demonstrate how to properly execute a bicep curl on the Preacher Curl machine. Okay, so as you can see, it says biceps curl. It goes through all of the different muscles of your arm that it hits. I'm gonna start with 30 pounds, it's pretty reasonable. I curl a little bit more than that usually, but again, we're gonna take a step back from weight and just focus on form, right? And executing the exercise properly. So first I'm gonna show you how to do it, and then I'm gonna show you some common mistakes, okay? So I'm gonna start here. I'm actually gonna get up, so I have a slight bend in my elbow, right? I'm not hyperextended here, and my arm's fully extended. I'm just gonna create a slight bend in my arm. I'm gonna pull through that first rep, sit all the way up, and then slowly relax. My arms almost again to full extension, but I'm keeping tension on that bicep, right? If you go into full extension, yes, the range of motion is greater. Yes, the reward may be higher for muscle strength and, like I said, range of motion. That also increases the risk of injuring yourself during this exercise, okay? So I like to go almost to 180 degrees, maybe 150, just leaving out that bottom 10 to 20 degrees of motion and really focusing on the squeeze at the top, okay? So that's how I would say you should do the exercise. If you ever feel like you don't know how to do this exercise, see if you're doing any of these, okay? You can always ask a friend, or if you do this in front of a mirror, or you might be able to see down the mirror on the other side of the gym. Very commonly, I'll see two things. I'll see people hyperextending, right? They'll go all the way here, all the way up, and then fully reset the weight. okay? And then I'll also see people do this, where their shoulders are severely internally rotated, they're shrugged up, they're actually getting more of a shoulder workout in this position than isolating the biceps, which is the purpose of this machine, okay? So again, you're gonna do the compound movements, push the chest press, pull the lat pull down, another overhead press, so the shoulder press, overhead press machine. You're gonna do that for 3 cycles of the prescribed amount of reps. You're gonna take a break, get some water. You're gonna go over to the rear delt fly, the tricep extension, and then the bicep curl, and you're gonna do that for 3 rounds through, okay? So in total, you've done 6 exercises, 3 pushing exercises, and 3 pulling exercises. So you should be developing good upper body symmetry, using good form, and you'll be stimulating muscles and be nice and maybe sore, but mostly strong before you know it. All right, everybody, have a great day. I hope this was helpful and informative. Stay healthy.